Hello everyone. I've just noticed my chat is not working in that window, the very handy window that's right in front of me. So I've got to keep an eye on chat on my phone, which is a good way of showing that my actual thing is working. So I can see Vicky. Hello Vicky. Charlie Say No and Matthew H. 5862. Is that your PIN number? Hello, ladies and gents. Thanks for joining. We've got a lot to get through today. I've been preparing like a crazy person for about 4 days. Not that I've got anything amazing to show you. I think the opening credits, and I've got intermission, and I've got a closing credits for you, but nothing worth staying up for. So here we are, December 31st. I look back on Facebook and I have been doing end of the year show for something like 5 years. It's become a tradition, every time I do it, I think it's like the first time, but it seems I've been doing it for quite a while. I quite like doing it, and you'd think I'd be better at it by now. I've got a piece of software called Streamlabs Desktop, and I've got no idea how it works. I use it so infrequently that every time I open it, I'm like, how does this work? And I would have had an extra ring light sort of just off camera here, but it's the ring light I bought from a charity shop earlier on in the year. And no matter where it's plugged in, whether it's USB or just in the mains, if I switch it on, it completely glitches my streaming software, which dies instantly. So I had to completely restart my computer at about 10 to 10. So, it's actually good that I got my computer fixed, and now I can restart in about 6 minutes rather than 30 minutes, because that's how bad it used to be to restart my computer. So firstly, I can see my microphone's working. Can you all hear me well? Because it's not going to work if I'm just doing for 2 hours. That won't be good. I can see the Darren Zone, so I'm assuming that's yourself and Wendy. So nice to see you guys. I'll be mentioning you all In fact, I'll be mentioning pretty much all of you at some point who are watching so far. The only regular who is currently not watching is Dr. Mad Studio, but he may pop in. I haven't heard from him for a while. I hope he's okay. Um, so, yeah. Wow, yeah, we've got a lot. Why are people sending me stuff on Instagram? It's like, you know, I've been talking about this live show for days. Don't send me stuff now. Good, you can all hear me. Brilliant, that's good. Um, this video is not sponsored by any particular drink, but over Crimbo, I was given 4 cans of Impossible, which is a 0%. Well, I say 0%. It's like 0.5% apparently, and it's got social blend, which is, according to the thing, is some kind of herbal thing. So if I start hallucinating and talking nonsense, it's something they've put in here. Also, I was given 4 cans of Guinness Draft 0%, which is actually tastes nicer than real Guinness. I'm doing my best to stay off the booze, and I'm also doing my best to try and look at the camera when I've got chats to look at and stuff. So I apologise for not making much eye contact. Mind you, if you know me in person, I don't make a lot of eye contact anyway. I think that's an ADHD thing, and I'm always trying to work on it. So let me just close what's going on over here on the thingy. Right, okay, so I can close. I don't need to close that. What do we start on? What I normally do, if you're new to this, is in everyday life, for many years now, I live my life on a wall planner, a big old wall planner. And when it comes up to the end of the year, usually just after Christmas, I sit down and I write down everything that's happened according to the wall planner. So I've got a vague idea of what happened through the year, and I go through that. So I think that will be the largest part of this thing. It's my breakdown of the year, and then we can talk about things that have happened and have not happened, etc., etc. Now, feel free to ask me stuff whenever you like, but I'm going to start talking about stuff. So, wow, we got like 8 viewers, so that's great. Yeah, that's right, Vicky. So yeah, it's not just me. I thought it was me. I thought I was just that kind of guy, because I've always been shy, but it turns out ADHD. Who knew? So I've got 12 months of notes. They're not huge. There's 4 or 5 points to each month. So I'll try and keep it as brief as I can. I want to get to. I want to finish as close to just after midnight as possible. Obviously, wish everyone a happy new year, and play me end credits, which took me hours to do today. Which, whatever. But yes, there are 9 viewers. This is awesome. It's really cool. Usually I get about 9 viewers, and that's fine, because I'm not techno savvy enough to work this software without imagine I had like 1,000 or a million viewers like some of these YouTubers. I'd need a full production team sitting over there just to sort of do stuff for me, because I'm a one-man band basically. I'm winging this like crazy, but so far so good, right? Okay, let's talk about January. Hold on to your hats, kids. Here we go. January, I started with 292 subs or followers on YouTube. So now I'm on 615. So that's a big whoop, and it went up halfway through the year, I think, when I did that. Why am I still watching Doctor Who video? Now the bad news. I entered into the new year, this year, blissfully in love. And I'm going to keep this vague and mention no names. I think the best way to describe it is I felt like I'd won the lottery, and then I didn't. By Valentine's Day, ironically, it all went. Yeah, the best way to describe it is hello, Simon. Simon's in. Simon Williams, comic artist and idol to millions. Idol of dozens has arrived to support my good friend Hellboy. Nice to see you, mate. Um, yeah, hold on to your hat, Simon. I'm just talking about how I got into this year. I was actually uh, blissfully in love and very, very happy. And by Valentine's Day, it all went kaput. And again, not naming names and stuff, but generally, the way of describing it is imagine there was a starving man who was literally starving, and you ran up to him with a big buffet of food and said, "Here's all the food you've ever wanted." And he has one nibble, and then you take it away and go, "Ha ha 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 ha, ha, go back to starving." That's essentially what happened to my heart. Ah, well, that's what happened. While I was still very happy, I bought myself a Batman cowl from Batman Returns, the best cowl ever made. It's my second one. I had a first one, which was great. I sold it because I needed the money. And now I bought this second one, which was equally good, but it was a little bit tight on me, so my face was doing that. Batman. So I ended up selling that. Well, by the time I got to February the 14th, I was not feeling the vibes or for anything. And essentially, that made me decide to kind of give up cosplaying. Although Jack Sparrow will turn up occasionally, and maybe even the Master in the convention this in May. Anyway, let's move on because I've got to keep going. I started working out. I've got a cross trainer upstairs, a ski machine, elliptical, and I bought weights. And I was doing that every other day. I worked all the way to the end of February, and I know Simon sucks, right? I worked out all the way to the end of February, and then because I was back to being roanery and a roan, I went, sod it, why bother? Eat pizza, sit on my ass, get fat. Anyway, on the 11th and 12th of January, I was still on my massive The Prisoner trip. So I'd booked a weekend in Port Meirion in North Wales to see the village, the Port Meirion village, which cost a lot of money. And I managed to bring my mate with me because the person who said they wanted to go said they couldn't go. So I said to my friend, you drive. Do you want a free stay in Port Meirion for 2 nights? And they put us up, and it was really nice. And I gathered and made the full Patrick McGowan prisoner outfit to wear on the Sunday. It was dead quiet. It's very wet. No tourists. Most people wouldn't have gone there on that during that weather. They go in the summer, but in the summer apparently it's busy. But we were there when it was quiet, so it was like being in the prisoner. And I brought my Prisoner DVD with me, box set, and we watched a couple of episodes of The Prisoner on DVD in our little cottage, which was right in the town centre of The Prisoner, overlooking the chessboard and everything, and it was trippy. And on Sunday I put on the full McGowan, had a shave, done my hair with a side parting, and I was walking around going, "Be seeing you," to people, and it was super fun. It was like a one-man convention where I got to cosplay as The Prisoner in Port Meirion for a day, and it was great fun. It was great fun. Wasn't so much great fun for my mate. On the Sunday, we went for a walk up the hills and into the forest to see all the Japanese gardens and stuff. I know, seems like yesterday, doesn't it? Uh, and he had to sit down on a bench, and he was completely out of breath and having a bit of a panic attack. And it turns out he was worried it was a heart attack, but turns out it was just a panic attack. But he's okay. And yeah, and weirdly, after watching all The Prisoner many times and getting really into it and buying some graphic novels and even the remake with Jim Caviezel and Hayley Atwell and Ian McKellen, which a lot of people say is terrible because they compare it to the 60s one. It's not that bad, if you take it for what it is on its own, it's pretty good. But my obsession with The Prisoner kind of fizzled out then. I don't hate it, of course. I'm not like, don't know what I was thinking. It was fun at the time, but again, I think this is another ADHD thing where you get a hyper focus on something, and then it fizzles out. I can hear fireworks already. It's been going for about an hour. So that's all of January. February, by the 14th, I was brokenhearted all over again. Why do I do it to myself? I don't know. More to the point, why do people do it to me? Um, so on the 15th, do I have a photo to accompany this? I don't think I do. I picked up my new Jack Sparrow wig. This was basically my latest wig, which I wasn't happy with. But a friend of mine, Stephen Holden, who used to do Jack Sparrow, he said to me, "Hey, look, give it to me, and I'll revamp it and turn it into a really nice wig." And he did a really kick-ass job on it, and he wouldn't take any payment for it. So I did donate him my Jack Sparrow custom one-off Pirates of the Caribbean baseball jacket, which I hope he likes. Garth Marenghi writes to Patrick McGowan. He does a little bit, yeah, yeah. And yes, Patrick McGowan was in Columbo a couple of times. He's such an enigmatic actor, that guy. Um, oh yeah, Garth Marenghi, man. Hey, Garth Marenghi is playing the new theatre in the new year. Is it March or April, possibly? I'd like to see that, if I can afford it. Okay, March. Oh, sorry, we haven't got through February yet. On the 16th, I saw Captain America 4, which was Captain America Brave New World. I gave it 7.5 out of 10. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And weirdly, most of the films I saw this year, and I didn't see many, but most of the films I saw scored around 7.5 out of 10. It must be me. On the 21st of February, I started editing Mummified. Let me just see if I can bring up a picture, because, I mean, this ain't working properly. Hang on. Yeah, see, this is why I don't have any idea. Oh, why is that a bit distorted? No, not that way. There we go. They've got mummy issues. Now, that should stay there. And that should go. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out how to crop things properly. Or croppily. There we go. Started editing Mummified, which, as you will remember, you got a ticket for Garth Marenghi, have you? You git. All right. Challenge accepted. So, yeah, I don't know if any of you have seen Mummified. I know some of you have. I have sneakily linked it on the end of one of my Facebook videos, YouTube videos from last year. And if not, if you haven't seen it, I can always send you a link. The reason it's not public, stop saying seems like only yesterday, that. Everything seems like yesterday. Wait till we get to like December. It literally was yesterday. Yeah, the Mummified, the only reason I haven't made it public yet is because I've entered a bunch of film competitions. I only entered 5. And I haven't won anything, but I did get selected for the Birmingham Horror Film Festival, which was something. It got watched anyway, and I'm very proud of it, even though it's short and it's not as great as I wanted it to be. The 2 girls worked their socks off, and they were very good. Fair play to them. And this is why I'm working with Ang Harrod again for Off-World Survivors, and we'll talk about that at some point. Ooh, why did I go full screen then? There we go. Where are we next? Where's my Word document gone? Here we go. Right then. March. Had a rare night out in Cardiff. A mate of mine said, let's go out for a drink. We haven't had a drink. And I was like, no, I don't really want to. Because I can't afford it nowadays. I certainly can't afford it now. But at least back then, I was getting like universal credit on top of my wages. So it's like I had a bit of disposable income, but now I haven't. So we had a night out in Cardiff, and we didn't do very much. We spent most of the time in a half-empty bar. But what happened was we bumped into a group of 4 girls who were far too young for us. They were in like 21, 22. Me and my mate, pushing 60. But we weren't like, oh yeah, we're going to pull by here, because my mate's married for a start. But they just said, oh, can we share the table? So we sat down, we said, hi, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And we were talking to them almost all night. No dancing, no trying to get off of them, none of that. It was just nice that they were like interested in us to talk to. And all of them were gorgeous, right? Oh, there was a fifth girl as well, standing on the edge. She wasn't with them, but she was with her fiance, and this girl was an Indian girl who looked like I'm trying to describe it. She was like the living embodiment of Cleopatra. She was absolutely gorgeous. I'm still contacted to her on Facebook, and she was very interested. And her fiance were interested to talk to me about Jack Sparrow, and she said, "Oh, you should come to our wedding or housewarming or whatever." It never happened, but we just had a good night because it was just like no hassle, no nutters, nothing. We're just sitting there hanging out, just chatting to people, and it was a good night out. Haven't had a night out, but it cost a fortune though. Bloody hell. Let me just check the chat because I can't see the chat. Emma, hello Emma, how you doing? Long time no see, but you seem kind of things are progressing steadily. I wouldn't say all good, but it's not terrible. Hi Wendy, how you doing? You're on now, okay. Are you on separately with Darren or what? I don't know. So yes, that was I think that was everything in March. Oh no. Okay, so on the 10th of March, I started recording a new audiobook. Do we have a picture to what there? If I click the right button. No, that one. There we go. For All Our Scars, James's story by Michael Cromack. This was hard work. Not because it was a bad book or anything. It was a very good book. But it was a very emotionally intense book, and I had to pull all my acting chops out. And I had to pull out all my northern accents because everyone's set from up north, and there were people who were young, people who were old, and they're all. I tend to do all the Neverberry stuff is northern accents, and the new book I'm doing is also northern accents. I can't do a wide range of northern accents. I just have a standard northern accent, but I can change the pitch and stuff. But it's a good book, and it's beginning to sell, and it's more a kind of slice of life with a lot of murder. So there you go. Where are we next? Okay then. Yeah, so I gave up I kept stopping and starting on the weights and the fitness and stuff, and I gave up on the 22nd of March at 13 stone 5. I dread to think what I weigh now. And on the 30th of March I entered the film competitions, and my granddaughter turned 7 years old, and she turned up on for Boxing Day, and she's so tall now. She's like up to here, up to my chest kind of thing. Okay, April. By the 4th of April, I'd finished recording that audiobook for Audible, and then I had an idea. Let's see if we get the right button. There we go. It's a bit big. If you can see that. Yeah, basically, me and my mate had this idea of doing a disco, a music night. I came up with a logo, Smooth, and all we were going to play were funk, soul, and disco from the 70s and 80s. A little bit of 60s possibly, but we just wanted something that people of a certain age, could actually listen to and enjoy. We made a load of plans and a few phone calls, and it hasn't come to fruition, but I will be doing that at some point. So I'll make a Facebook page for it at some point, when we get it up and running. Obviously it'll be in this area, so it's not going to be miles away or hard to get to if you're not anywhere near Wales, but just want to do a nice night of like all the funk and soul stuff that no house music basically, and also no rap music. And you'd think I'd be playing a lot of rap music, but I just want something that's cool stuff. Hi Gordon, nice to meet you. Well done on upturning subscriptions. I know I went from 292 at the start of the year to 615. I don't know, I can always check. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. I can't always check right now. At least I don't think I can. I'm basically monitoring my my own. Oh, here we are. Oh, it's gone up by one. 616. So that's kind of messed up my end credits. Anyway, always happy to get another subscriber. And we've got 10 viewers. And I suppose, Gordon, you must be the number 10th. So thanks for watching. Welcome on board. As I said to everyone before, I do this for... I'm glad you're on the up, Em. You know, it's been too long. Yeah, I always do this end of the year show up till midnight. Feel free to come and go. I'm currently breaking down my entire year's activities and talking about what I did, what I got up to, what went wrong, what went right. And okay, so on the 7th, I gave blood. I give blood as often as I can. On the 22nd of April, I sold. The Batman cowl because I'd given up on cosplay. 23rd, started watching Andor season 2, which was really, really good. A little slow. A lot of people said it's a little slow, but just proper drama. 25th, I was offered a box load of off-world merchandise, like T-shirts. And what I like about the off-world T-shirts is if you just do that, it says, "For," you know. But we had hoodies and stuff. All this stuff was going to get skipped by the printers, and they said, "Do you want it?" So I said, "Yeah, okay, send it to me." And they sent it to me, and I raised some money. I sold the majority of it. All the hoodies went straight away. I don't even have one. And it all went to raising money for costumes and stuff for Off-World survivors. Okay, on the 27th, I started admitting defeat and started selling things from the mummified film. I sold the 3 mummies, I sold some props and some ornaments, and I sold the big sarcophagus that I had. Again, all that money went to Off-World survivors. May, I tried to restart fitness according to this at 13 stone 11, and I'm assuming that didn't work very well. On the 3rd of May, we have a picture. Purple Fido, I know you. We were just talking about you. No, we weren't. We're talking about Mummified and bloody students. Yappy New Year. You still haven't learned to spell, have you? Right, I have a picture to go with... what was I going to put up? Where's it gone? Here we are. Pop. Right, click the right button for once. Yay! There we go. With my friend Gareth, we did a video... Our second video for the Kinks, the official video for Destroyer, one of their singles from the early 80s. It's a very rough, cut-out video, Captain Pugwash style-y. It says 7.41k likes there, but it's had over 250,000 views already. There are some people going, this is a bit crap, innit? I'm like, it was done with 2 guys on a low budget and a small budget and very short length of time. But it was an honour. It was approved by Ray Davis and the Kinks, and what the hell, we did it in record time, and that's the second Kinks video we've done for them, and hopefully more to come. What happened after that? That's something to tell the grandkids about. Yeah, for some reason on the 7th, I just put an unhappy face. I think I was still feeling a bit blue. I do get these roller coastery emotions, unfortunately. Then on the 10th, I started buying costumes for Off-World survivors. I think this is a bit of a record. We've had 11 viewers now. So that's maybe I should screenshot it or something. I might do a cut down version of this video, to leave online. Yeah, we've done. Do you know what we missed out on, Simon and Matt H? If you're still watching, we were offered to do to tender for a video for Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang, and it didn't come off, unfortunately. So that sucked a bit. Shame. I would have loved to have worked on that. I would have pulled out all the stops. As if you don't know, Rapper's Delight is like a bona fide classic hip hop tune. Anyway, so on the 11th of May. It was very warm, I remember, and I went for a walk up to Park Penalta where we filmed Off-World so I could have a recce and see how it had changed in the last 10 years. And I couldn't find half the locations because the place has changed quite a bit, but I found some locations where we can do off-world survivors, so that's good. On the 13th, you can probably see it behind me. Oh, it's actually there. I ordered a head from the black hole, a sentry robot head. I've wanted one for years. I know, it would have been perfect for me, Simon Rapper's Delight. Do I have a sentry picture here? Yes, I do. Click a button, and there he is. Yeah, so that's the sentry head behind me. My granddaughter looked at it the other day and said, Darth Vader, straight away. And I said, I know, it looks like Darth Vader, doesn't it? But this was made by someone else, not me, I hasten to add. He's done a really nice job of it. That's how they look like in the Disney movie. I can't wear that. It's a solid lump. No, not a solid lump, but it's sealed, so there's no way I can put it on. But goodness me, it's cool. I almost sold it in the middle of the year because I was so broke. But I managed to get through. What's next? Okay. The Andor finale finished on the 13th of May as well. On the 20th, I went to the Tim Burton exhibition in London at the Design Museum. It was really, really what I needed. I managed to get up there rather cheaply on the Megabus or the National Express, and I've even bought this shirt because I was so inspired by Tim Burton, sort of skeletons and things. Tell you what, Park Penalta is like, I don't think anyone cares, even the people in the film. A blue plaque, man, no. I don't think you can get near any trees because there's so many bags of dog poop hanging off them. Honestly, when we were filming Off-World up there were so many bags of dog poop hanging off the trees. We were going to say, well, maybe we could just throw a line in the script saying, what about those weird fruits hanging from the trees, you know? Yeah, I bought this shirt on Vinted. I went through a Vinted thing looking for stripy stuff. So I had grey stripy T-shirts and stuff, all inspired by Tim Burton, basically. And Tim Burton was not so much life-changing, but it was a massive epiphany for me. It just reinforced the idea that one person on their own, no matter how weird their ideas are, can do stuff and just keep pushing your own ideas and your creativity. It really charged me up really well. And I think I should have another picture here somewhere. Where is this picture? Okay, let's pop this picture on. I started working on a sculpture of a little Tim Burton style character. Yeah, no worries, Purple Fido. You haven't missed much, but you know, whatever. Ping. So this is just an artist's impression of the front cover of a book that I've written, but I haven't illustrated yet. It's called Weirdo. It's based on the little character that I'm currently sculpting. Don't get me started. I could talk about, you know, Rick Baker and Dick Smith and Stan Winston and all those guys, you know, so much. And obviously, who was the John Chambers from Planet of the Apes and all these makeup. Simon Williams, comic artist, is a big one to talk about horror and makeups and all that kind of stuff. He's the man. But yeah, I've written this book called Weirdo, and it's a very Tim Burton-esque book, kind of a follow-up to Monsters Next Door, which was also Tim Burton inspired. It's a longer story than Monsters Next Door, and it tells a story of a little girl who goes to school at a place called Bramble Bush Elementary, and she's a bit strange, and all the kids, it's like a Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer kind of thing. The kids are mean to her. She doesn't fit in. They think she's odd. They think she's weird. They call her the weirdo, and they decide to follow her to find out where she goes after school, what's her house like, what's her family like, and they get a big surprise. I really want to get this done at some point if I can, because it's a great story. It's told completely in rhyme, and if I can get it done and illustrated, I'll do it in my Vincent Price voice. It'll be much fun. Um, yeah. Um, where were we? Yeah, so that was the Tim Burton thing, and uh, on the 28th of May, I got my first check from Audible. I got a check for 16 quid, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the fact that I'd done hours and hours worth of work on, I think it was Welcome to Neverberry for Chris Lynch, which has currently sold lots of copies. I've had occasional checks, not all of them for 16 quid, a lot have been a lot less. But it's been trickling through, and it's handy. It's kind of like passive income in a way. It's, you know, I'm not going to give up this life of crime just yet. Um, yeah, so that was nice. And the Doctor Who finale was on the 31st of May. I scored it 3 out of 10 because the quality of Doctor Who, the budget went up, but the quality went down the pan. I'm sorry, but I think it did. Well, at least for me. Um, okay, June. We'd gone from 292 subscribers on YouTube to 476. And I think that might be because of this post that I did called Why Am I Still Watching Doctor Who? Oh, drying out. Uh, mm. Yeah. So then I was offered to do as an extra work for Philip Roy in his Doctor Who Meets the Scorpion film. You may remember I interviewed Philip Roy on the channel a couple of months ago. Super nice bloke, and it was nice to spend a day in Cathays, where I used to live in Cardiff, just around the corner from the museum, etc., where they were filming The War Between Land and the Sea, in fact, um, and to do a little cameo in Phil's film, which will be out hopefully this year. Sorry, 2026. On the 18th, my Tim Burton obsession continued, and I started buying the Tim Burton's tragic toys for girls and boys, little figures, which are currently, you can just about see them. They're all sitting on top of my TV in between two bookmarks. I've got 12 of them. One of them fell off the telly the other day because of the kids were screaming and shouting and pushing things. But luckily, there's no damage. There's about 120 quid's worth of toys there. Oh, to have disposable income to buy Tim Burton toys. Anyway, yeah, you agree with me, Simon, but read Doctor Who. It has gone down the pan, but there's still hope. We just got to get Russell T Davies's final Christmas special out the way next year, and then I want a whole complete team, whole new, um, you know, revamp. Preferably someone like J. Michael Straczynski, the Babylon 5 guy. He's moved to the UK to try and get the showrunner's job for Doctor Who, and I think why not give him a shot? Anyway, on the 22nd we have a picture. Let me see if I can. Oh my god, I've opened up like loads of pictures. Right, let's find a picture. On the 22nd, I started work on. Is that going to work? The Christmas Raccoons, for Chris Maguire. Chris Maguire wrote it, but it's an adaptation of the very first Raccoons cartoon that launched the Raccoons in Canada and made them a worldwide hit. This is a recreation of the album, the record album cover that came out. I did the drawings of these guys based on I got them as close as possible to the real ones, and I revamped the logo, obviously, and it's been selling quite well. The thing that kind of narks me a tiny bit is that with things like the Raccoons, which is a big IP, I'm not really mentioned. The author is mentioned, and they're lauded for their writing, but I only get a little mention on the inside. But I do a heck of a lot of work on these books, all the interior illustrations as well. But I felt a little bit kind of ignored this year. Anyway, where were we? We were saying Glaston selfie on the 28th of June, very hot day. I did Jack Sparrow. Do I have a Glaston selfie pic? No, but I've got the next best thing. Every year at Glastonbury, I do a couple of hours at Jack Sparrow. It's a music festival, but it's for charity. And me and a Nessa lookalike called Mandy, that's her when she's not dressed as Nessa, uh, went to Welly's farm to hand over a cheque for £13,455, which people raised during the Glastonbury weekend, which was very nice. Um, so that was good. And Mandy, as you can see here, she will be guesting as Nessa at Barry Carden Collecticon um, in May with me. So that'll be good. Very nice person, Wendy. Wendy? I mean Mandy, sorry. Right, what came up next? Everyone's still with us. We still got 11 viewers. We're doing well. um, yeah, at the end of June, hit 500 subs. Um, that was amazing. That's like double the subscriptions in 6 months or whatever, 5 months. Okay, July was very hot. It was a heat wave, in fact. On the 8th, July the 8th, I had to go to hospital and they discovered a cataract in my eye, which was fun. On the 12th, I started a big job for a long time a great YouTuber, and a thoroughly nice chap, James Bruton. His channel used to be called X Robots, and he makes robots and bicycles, as you can see on his t-shirt and all sorts of stuff. I've done his graphics from the start, and he came back to me 5 years later. He didn't have to. He could have gone anywhere. He can afford to go anywhere and use any artist. He could even use AI if he wanted to, but he insisted on me drawing more of his hand-drawn stuff. And even when I gave him a quote, he said, "That's not enough money, have some more." So super nice guy. I met him once at a convention, but he does get in touch, and I really appreciate James's stuff. He always starts his video. He used to start his videos with, "Hello, it's James from xrobots.co.uk," but he doesn't do that anymore because his instead of X Robots, as you can see here on the picture, it says X Robots down there, but he is actually rebranded as James Bruton, which is kind of slightly reason why I rebranded my channel from. Okay, my mouse is doing weird things. What's going on here? Right, you can close. Planet of the Apes. Right, there we go. Oh, you maniacs! You blew it all up. Anyway, so yeah, I rebranded as Terry Cooper as opposed to Terry on Tuesday. Yeah, right. Okay, right. 13th of July, saw Superman, the James Gunn film. Was not very impressed. It was alright. That got a 6 out of 10. That scored quite low. Fantastic Four, I saw the week after. That got 7.5 out of 10, much like the other film I mentioned earlier, Captain America 4. Lots of 7.5 out of 10s for some reason. On the 30th, I gave blood again. What do they want from me? Blood. On the 31st... I do have a picture, but why bother? Matt, James Bruton is friends with Colin Furze and does a lot of stuff with him. They built a full-size TIE fighter, a full-size metal TIE fighter for one of the Star Wars films, I think it was. So Kangazang trilogy. Where'd that come from, Wendy? Where'd that come from? That's your husband's book. No, basically the Kangazang trilogy got reprinted finally in the proper artwork, contiguously. The first book in orange, the second book in purple, and the third book in bluish. That should be blue. It's a bit purpley there. It was nice to get my books finally reprinted in. Oh, that's weird. No, that's right. Printed in the way we wanted them, so we've got like a decent, coherent, contiguous triple pack. Okay, everyone's still with us. We got 12 viewers now. This is awesome. Yeah, Matt, I would give Superman and Fantastic Four a watch. They're not as good as Marvel's heyday, you know, the stuff leading up to the Infinity War and Endgame, but they're all right. You know, Superman was I preferred the Fantastic Four, but then I've always been a Marvel guy more than DC. You know. Anyway, which is weird because I got a lot of Batman stuff, and my favorite superhero is Spider-Man. I don't have any Spider-Man stuff at all. How strange! That's always been the way. Um, yeah, it's August. We're in August already, and we're doing well because it's only 11:15. And we got 13 viewers. Unlucky for some, but lucky for me. That's probably the most viewers I've ever had on a live stream. If you're watching, lurking, whatever you're doing, hello. Thank you for watching, lurking. Please consider subscribing if you get a chance. I've got one subscriber today, and I wonder if I can see if we've got any more. I don't even know if this will work. Let me just check. Terry. Oh, yes. We've got 2 subscribers during this live stream. That's amazing. Thank you. And stay with me. I'm really excited to find out what happens when you get monetized. I'm quite away from that. I've got to get 1,000 subscribers, plus I've got to hit 4,000 public watch hours, and I'm about halfway there. So I need to make a lot more content. But I want to know what happens. I want to know how much you get. Is it like a $5 a month? Is it like a $10 a month? I don't know. It's very exciting, but it's within my grasp now, you know. And I can't do that without you guys helping. There's 15 people watching now. This is quite mind-blowing, in fact. Okay, stay with me. We are at August. I started work on Imperfect Specimen, the book by David Jandrell. So basically the way this came about is me and David have the same accountant, and our accountant's a super nice guy, and he said, I'm not that much into sci-fi. Would you read this manuscript and tell me what you thought? And I read it, and I thought it was flipping fantastic. So I agreed to edit it. Oh, I see, Simon. Look, it doesn't matter. I'm grateful of anyone. HorrorCon in South UK. Oh yeah, there used to be FantasyCon, wasn't there, in Nottingham, which I went 2 times. And yes, Anthony, hi. You did buy the trilogy. Were you at the we'll be talking about that one, the Collecticon thingy in the Angel Hotel, the very wet weekend that was, wasn't it? I decided to edit, help amend, and and again, Darren is a writer himself. We'll talk about your book in a sec. And it is proper old school sci-fi. It does feel like it. It's a story of one guy on a very strange planet with lots of strange things going on. So I wanted to give it the whole yellowed back, lots of scratches on the cover, and a kind of Target Books kind of thing on the thing, and lots of well, I say lots, there's not lots, there's 9 black and white illustrations inside that I did, and I'm very proud of it. I'm as proud of this as I am of my own books. You know, this doesn't really have my name on it except for the inside, so it's just a nice kind of thing to put out there. And although it's not selling very well because we haven't got a shop, or it's not on Amazon, but you know, hopefully we'll sell the books that we have had printed, you know. Let's quickly go back to my can of Impossible. Okay. Grimlock bad. Okay, where were we? Yeah. Oh, on the 9th of August, there was a Blake 7 convention in Newcastle, and I bought my ticket straight away. I think I paid about 80 quid. And turns out I couldn't get there. It was far too expensive to get there. The cheapest method of getting to Newcastle from here would be a plane, which would only cost about 25 quid. But in order to do that, I'd have had to go to Bristol, stay overnight, get taxis, all this kind of stuff. It would the price would go up. So I didn't go in the end. I couldn't even sell the ticket, so I was a bit gutted about that. Also, I've learned that the one Blake 7 actor who I really wanted to meet, Michael Keating, who played Villa, is no longer doing events because he is Well, there's no easy way to put this, but he's I think he's got signs of dementia now, so I don't think he'll be doing any more events, which is a shame because I thought he was great. Anyway, let us forge on. So on the 10th, I got wood. On the 10th, I got wood. Not you. Where's my picture gone? Oh, I've moved it. Here we go. On the 10th, I bought some bits of wood to start building my set upstairs in my flat for the Off-World Survivors spaceship. I have actually bought the flat pieces of hardboard to go with it as well. Unfortunately, I haven't got any further with it, but I will make more of an effort in the new year. What have I done that for now? I keep doing that. Right, here we go. Where's my Word doc? That was so rehearsed. What was rehearsed? I don't know. What was so rehearsed? What did I rehearse? I'm not sure. Okay, well, we'll carry on. Throw me now. I'm not sure what I rehearsed. Okay. So I was building Blake 7 pistols. I finished the first one on the 12th of August, which was 14 months. I got wood. Oh no, I've been saying that for months. That's what it is. I hadn't rehearsed it, but no, it's like I just kept saying it. In fact, you could see it on the post from Instagram. I just copied it straight from Instagram, and let me just switch it back on. Yeah, it's not 31 minutes ago. That was ages ago. It was when I bought it, obviously, and I said I got wood. So yeah, but yeah, I'd finished my first Blake 7 Federation Trooper pistol 14 months after starting them, and I've still got 2 left to make. What next? The sentry head arrived, the black hole sentry head, which I showed you earlier. That arrived on the 16th, in perfect condition, no breakages, thank goodness. And on the 23rd, Candy Jar had their summer shed, where the book shed, where they sell stuff. And oh, there we go. So this is Molly Arbuthnot, who's done about 10 books with Candy Jar, usually about cats and ducklings. In the middle is Sean. If you've met Sean, you'll know Sean, and that's me wearing, ironically, oh no, we're clashing, I've got the same shirt on. I haven't worn it, I haven't taken it off since. But yes, a good day was had. Sold some Kangazang, sold some Monsters Next Door. That was all very good fun, and yeah, that was cool. Where are we now? We're doing well. We're going through the year faster than we did last year. The bad news is we're down to 10 viewers. We were up to 15, but you know, I hear I'm grateful. So, in September I bought the boards for the massive 8-foot hard boards for the Off-World set, but I haven't done anything with them except move them upstairs. Wendy, we're here, and Darren, if you're still here. On the 2nd, I started recording the Talgor's Horror, which is by Darren Powis, obviously, and there's illustrations in that. There are a couple of like minor illustrations at the start of every chapter. Again, this was another cracking sci-fi book. It's like a kind of historical. It's in the Welsh Valley, and it's set in a Welsh train station at night on Halloween night, according to this. Yeah, in 1920, and yeah, it was a really fun read, and it was fun to perform because I had to play about 8 or 9 different characters, I think, and they all had various Welsh accents, and it is reminiscent of a Philip Simon would like this, actually, very reminiscent of a Philip Hinchcliffe era Tom Baker story, with an alien menacing all these people in this book, and it's a fun read. And say it's not a huge read, which is great, and it's got a new cover as well. we we between me and Darren, we had some hassle getting Audible to finally agree, approve it, but it's finally out as an audio, so that's on Audible, which is great. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, so we're doing good. All the way down to 6 viewers. They're dropping like flies. I don't blame you. It's 5 to 11, but we're doing quite well. I'm going to keep going anyway because we're recording all this. Horror of Fang Rock, definitely, yeah. Okay. This is another kind of personal one. On the 5th of September, I paid quite a lot of money for a train ticket to visit Taunton in Somerset. If you don't know me, you don't know the story, but I'm not going to go into it. But basically, I used to be with someone from Taunton, and there's no hard feelings there. We're not together now, obviously, but I missed the town. I liked Somerset. I liked Taunton, so I jumped on a train and spent the day wandering around Vivery Park and the shops. And I did all the charity shops, 8 or 9 charity shops, and went for pub grub, and I went to cafes and stuff. The person I was with from Taunton, there was a very small chance that they might have been able to meet me, but it didn't happen. But again, I'm not holding it against them. It's like there could be any number of reasons. It would have been nice, but these things happen. But it was just nice to go. I've been promising, I went to Taunton for a small sort of comic convention in the library a year or two ago with the great Mike Allwood, who runs things. He lives in Taunton as himself, and I've been saying to him, I've got to come back and have a wander around Taunton. I've been there for the best part of 15 years, so I thought, screw it, I'm going to treat myself to a day out, and it was great. It was nice, and Taunton in the summertime, it's lovely. Really like Taunton and that part of the world, and Wellington and Tonedale and Vivery Park and all that kind of malarkey. I've got not a handful, less than a handful of friends who are in that area. So that was nice. 13th and 14th was the Collecticon, if Anthony's still here. Oh no, we're down to 4 viewers. It's not going well, and one of those viewers is me. Okay, we'll just keep going. Yeah, the Collecticon in the Angel Hotel in Cardiff, not run by the same people who are doing Barry Card and Collecticon in May. But it was okay. I had fun for 2 days. It wasn't the most busiest con, and a lot of traders didn't make too much money, but there were lots of decent guests there. But it was a fun event. It was nice to see some people. My phone's just vibrated. What's going on? Flipping LinkedIn never takes a day off, right? Thanks for being still here, Vicky, and I'm sure Darren is. So there's 5 people, including me. 5 people, not including me. Okay, 17th. I have a picture. On the 17th, I had a night of stand-up comedy. Not that I was doing the stand-up comedy. Why is that opened up in the wrong window again? Let me just open that. So I had tickets to go and see Marcus Brigstock. I think he did a series back in the day called I've Never Seen Star Wars. Hello, Louise. I was literally just talking about the Angel Cardiff Collecticon where I met your other half, and I still have a off-world Survivors set piece here with your name on it. So I was just saying, we're up to. Thanks for bumping the numbers up, by the way, Louise, because we were up to 15 and now we're down to 7 viewers, and one of them is me. So we need all the help we can get. Anthony's still here, great. And yeah, so basically I went to see Marcus Brigstock in the Glee Club in Cardiff with Justin from Farsight Films, who shot Mummified for me. And Marcus was great, and it was wet and cold outside, but I raced after him as he was walking back to his hotel, and we had a quick chat. He's got ADHD as well, and he's a super nice guy, and that was fun. I do like Marcus Brigstock. On the 20th was Nerdcraft in Merthyr. Oh, sorry, I'm going to backtrack just a tiny bit because I just realised I've got a picture of the new cover of Darren's book, and I think that's going to be the cover for the Audible as well. Charlie Saino is still here. Good to have you on board, and thanks for all you've done for me this year, matey. It's got to be said. So that's the new cover for Darren's book. Previous cover was this, but very good stuff. Anyway, I was looking for a picture, wasn't I? I was looking for another picture. What did I say? Nerdcraft in Merthyr, which was a one-day event. Why did they keep opening in the wrong window? Right, you can go away. You can go in the middle. So Nerdcraft was a... Hang on. If I can scroll through them, might make life easier. There we go. So I did a Q&A as a filmmaker. So big thanks to my friend Scott Britton. Not Scott Britton. Scott Christie. I always get those two guys mixed up. Scott Christie interviewed me for a change. And also then, if I can scroll through them. There we go. I for the first hour, I was interviewing this chap who you may know as Dinosaur, Dean Morris, about his hugely famous TikTok channel. He's got like 1 million viewers. I'm not an online comedian, basically. Dean is naturally funny, and he has found his niche. I don't think I'll ever get to 1 million subs because I've accepted my channel is always going to be a bit of a mixed bag. It's just life, the universe, and everything with me. It's mostly sci-fi. I give it that, but there are plenty of sci-fi channels out there. But Dean is just a very funny guy. On the 26th, you may have seen this. I did a little 2-minute fan dub of a Batman animated clip, which went down really well, with the help from Alia Torre to do the female voices on there. And I really enjoyed doing flexing my voice stuff for that, for Batman. And a lot of people refused to believe that was me. A lot of people said that is Kevin Conroy, and I was like, no, that's not Kevin Conroy. That is me. I am the Batman. Then according to this, the 27th of September, I finished and submitted the Talgor's Horror, Darren's book, for Audible, and it took a while for them to approve it, but it finally got there. October, start of October. Oh, we're up to 11 viewers. Welcome back. I was feeling very down again, for obvious reasons. But on the 12th, I went to see Tron Ares. A lot of people don't like the film. I thought it was pretty good. I gave it 8 out of 10. Not the best Tron film ever. We know that's Tron 1982. When you're so good, people don't believe you. I know, right? I once won an audition to play Batman online on a number of... They're still online, these a number of Batman stories. And I won the audition against a load of auditioning Americans because they were all doing Christian Bale Batman voice, and I was doing Kevin Conroy, and I beat them. So that was a bit of a smug moment there. No worries, Wendy. No worries. So yeah, October. I like Tron Ares. Not the best Tron film ever. The best one is obviously 1982, followed by Tron Legacy. But Tron Uprising, if you haven't seen the cartoon series, is flipping fantastic. I was going to say phenomenal. I wasn't going to swear. On the 19th, here's something some of you will not know about and have not seen but I'm gonna share this sneak peek. On the 19th, I'd spent a couple of months um, developing what they call a show Bible, which is essentially a kind of book like, take Monsters Next Door, for example. It's a book kind of like this, like an A5 size book, or A4, and in it has pictures and writing and all sorts of stuff to pitch an idea for a film or cartoon series. So I pitched a newish idea to one of the biggest and most successful. I know. See, here's the thing. If I could do Michael Keaton all the time, I would do that voice all the time. It's kind of like this, okay? You want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts. He's very quiet to do. People used to say to me in nightclubs, "Oh, do your Michael Keaton?" And, with music playing, all you're going is this. Okay? So, here's the thing.
Well, then, you can do Beetlejuice. It's kind of like that. Well, I studied at Juilliard. I saw The Exorcist 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it.
I can't shout. I've got neighbours. Anyway, I could do a decent Beetlejuice. I've always wanted to do the Beetlejuice costume, because now I've got the receding hairline. It's a lot easier to do the hair and everything. Maybe I will one day. I nearly did it this year, but I didn't get round to it in time. What was I talking about? I was talking about Tron. Oh yeah, I was pitching an idea for a cartoon show, and I can't share any of it except for one page. I pitched it to one of the most successful animation producers in the world, and he was nice enough to read it, and he liked it, but he's working on similar stuff, and he didn't ask me to sign an NDA. He was good enough to just take a look at it and this kind of thing, and he's like, it's good, and I can see how much work you put into it, but I'm going to show you the back page. So you don't get to see much of it, I'm afraid, but you might get a kind of flavour of it. There it is. The show is called Fantastic, and that is all. That is all I can say about it. Obviously, it looks a bit superhero. It looks a bit Doctor Doom. It looks a bit sci-fi. It looks a bit Doctor Who. That's as far as I'm going with it. It's called Fantastic not because it's related to Christopher Eccleston in any way, but it's something I was quite passionate about, and I did a lot of work on it. And maybe one day, who knows, maybe we'll get somewhere with it. That is not the hero or the main character. That is actually the bad guy. He is our Skeletor, as it were. But that's all I can talk about Fantastic. And it's really fun. It's really fun. If that could be a cartoon series, who knows? So, with that out the way, let's move on. The thing is, Louise, I've got so many irons in the fire and projects that I want to do that I've got to really start focusing on the ones that I think I can do. Because we're not getting any younger, are we? YouTube, on the 24th of October, I hit, we're back after 12 viewers. Yay, welcome back. I hit 560 subscribers, so I think I found how the algorithm works, and I explained it to Sean by saying, imagine you're in a steam locomotive train. That's your YouTube channel, and the algorithm is the boiler, the fire, and your content is the coal. So you've got to keep shoveling content in order to get faster and faster. So I'm trying to do. I'm generally do a video every Tuesday, but as you may notice, I'm doing videos on Saturdays and occasional shorts and stuff, because as soon as I get an idea, I don't want it to fizzle out. I will fling it up online, on a Tuesday or a Saturday, to keep the algorithm noticing me. And when people keep subscribing, as you guys have done today, Simon and someone else, I'm currently on 617 subscribers, which is two more than I started off with this evening, which is fantastic, to use a word. And I really want to see what happens when I get to 1,000, you know. But I got to keep shoveling coal in, Darren, like I said. Got to keep shoveling coal into that locomotive in order to keep the speed up. Because if I stop, which worries me about my eye operation, and we'll talk about that in a bit, if I stop, people start dropping off and the algorithm goes, nah, he's not a mover and shaker, there's nothing happening. Let's not push him into anyone else's views. And with that, you know, your channel just dies. So on the 25th, I interviewed Philip Roy over 2 hours, and we split that into two videos, which did quite well on the channel. And on the 26th, we have a picture. I went off to a convention. Why have I opened Photoshop? Oh, for goodness sake, I've clicked on the wrong thing. Excuse me, I need some water. I clicked on the wrong thing at the bottom of the screen. Now I've got Photoshop opening up. Give me a second. In a few minutes, I'm going to have a break. I'm going to have a toilet break, but I do have an intermission video to play you, so you're not going to miss out on anything. Right, we're back. Where's the pictures? There's only the one picture. Okay. So we went to Swansea, and I went with my friend David, who's got the TARDIS console and his own Paul McGann police box, of which I painted the sign, the pull to open sign. I painted that by hand. Now, the problem is I wanted to help him for the day because he'd be there and do it all on his own. It's really hard to put that TARDIS up together on your own. So I helped him out for the day. He bought me dinner and drove me there and back. And I put him up as well because he had to drive all the way from Northampton. So he worked like a dog. But I discovered that the cause of my heartbreak at the start of the year was present at the event. And I didn't want to show my face, so I put my rope chains on and my stormtrooper gloves and a stormtrooper helmet, and I became hip-hop trooper for the day. Although I did come face to face with the person involved, and we didn't speak because it's for the best. In fact, they don't want to talk to me. Let's have a look. Yeah, pop up to the Blaenavon Heritage Railway. There's Star Engine, Jess, the inspiration of Blodwyn, will get some steam up. Ah, I see. Okay, let's get the vibes out the way. We're on to November, guys. We're doing well, and we've got like an hour. 14 viewers. That's great. It's good. It was quite stressful having to come, to be in the same room as. Thankfully, where we were placed with the TARDIS, we were diametrically opposite, way across the hall from the person I didn't really want to bump into. Again, we did walk past each other, but there wasn't any acknowledgement. It was like, I've never been so grateful of having bad eyesight, because from a distance people are quite fuzzy, and up close they're quite fuzzy. So I just I let them walk past me and kept my eyes out of focus, and it worked it was quite sad. I'm not going to lie. I was like, how can you go from, being very close to somebody to being total strangers again? We've all been there, but it sucks. Anyway, I got to stop talking about that. November, I had a mad idea. I started watching videos by a guy called Steve Wallace. He is a Canadian bloke who has been going for a couple of years. He's got 3 million viewers or something. He does stealth camping. He's not really a survival expert, but he's an outdoorsman, and he basically finds places to camp where you wouldn't expect, like in the middle of motorway roundabouts and strange dilapidated buildings or tunnels or tubes or under motorway bridges and stuff. And he does stealth camping, and he's great. It's really therapeutic to watch his channel. He's a super nice guy, like most Canadians are, very laid back, very nice. I discovered that in the last 3 years, his wife, who he only referred to as, her name's Jess, but he referred to as beautiful wife, didn't wake up one morning, and he was absolutely heartbroken over it. He's talking about it on the video, and he's in tears, and it's really bad. It's a hard watch. And then his next door neighbor was his best mate, who was a lot older than him. He referred to him as crazy neighbor, and crazy neighbor passed away as well. So he lost his wife, I think his mother, and his best friend, all in the space of a year. But he still keeps on. He's still making videos. He replied to me in one video, because I did ask him if I could interview him for my channel, and he said he gets too many requests. He's got 3 million viewers now. Oh, you saw the one, Wendy, did you? Ah, there you go. Yeah. But I want to do some stealth camping, if my health allows. I found a really awesome spot as well. So on the 8th of November, I got up about 6 in the morning, jumped on a train to the coast, and I found this spot. I was basically scoping out this area, which is quite public, but you wouldn't know I was there if I managed to do what Steve does and turn up late when the sun sets and leave early before the sun rises. And I want to, if at all possible, raise money for charity to do it. 2 reasons. One, why not do something crazy for charity, give some money to a good cause. 2, if I do it for charity, there's less chance, I know this is silly, but there's less chance of, if I get disturbed by the cops or reported or anything, they'll see it for what it is. I'm a guy with a YouTube channel. I'm not doing it to trespass or anything like that. In fact, it's not the kind of place where you can get done for trespassing. And actually, trespassing, I looked into the law, is not a criminal thing. It's more a civil thing. So I can't divulge the spot until I raise the money, because I'll film it and everything. I'll make sure I've documented the whole trip. But I'd rather tell people after it's done and I'm free and I'm out, and not beforehand. Otherwise, the police will just watch the video and go, "Oh, right, we'll nick you then." But I'd like to raise some money. I've been asking online about local charities, and I've had some suggestions. And there's also, in March, what was it called? I've got it written here. It's called the Royal British Veterans Enterprise. They're doing a thing in March called Tommy Sleep Out. So it raises money for the Royal British Veterans, and you can sign up like you do with the sponsored walks and stuff. It's just a sponsored sleep out for one night, and they suggest that so everyone raises £100. So that's a possibility. I don't mind which charity. I don't mind the veterans military cause, but I'm not. Do you know what, Charlie? Say no. I've never enjoyed camping. Even when we were kids, it all turned into like just being cold and wet and achy and scared and arguing with your mates. But on my own, I think I can hack it for one night. Oh, don't get me started on Blair Witch. When that came out, me and my mate watched it on a pirate VHS in the dark, and I could not go to bed with the lights off. Sorry. There's something weird about a film like that, which is found footage, and it's a pirate copy anyway, so it's even more like found footage. Really, that was the last film that frightened me properly. And the sleep out charity causes, yeah, they do things for homeless, etc. And can you last a night? This is going to be sometime in March. You've got to do it any time in March. I'm not big on military causes, because as noble as the military is, and the whole defending of the country and fighting for freedom and stuff, there is a whole thing about sending politicians who are safe at home, sending young men off to die. It's never sat well with me. I don't mind the veterans charities, because they look after people who have done their time and survived, etc., etc. The Blair Witch on Tinder. That's a good one. I've met a few. Yeah, camping is it's an acquired taste, and you wake up with everything aching. Especially at my age, I'm pushing 60. Honestly, I found a really cool spot, and when you see it, you'll be like, "Oh my God, you're mental." But I think I can do it. But I have to try and raise some money. I will give it to charity, etc. And the thing is to try to convince people to agree to sponsor me for this charity, whichever one I pick, without telling them too much about it. Although it will involve me camping somewhere unusual for one night and documenting it on video and stuff, So that'd be good. I'd like to do that. But again, a lot of these things in a year are dependent on what's happening with my eyes, and we haven't talked about that yet, but we're nearly there. Where were we? November? Yeah, on the 15th, on the 14th. Oh no, let's go back to the 13th. Yeah, I don't want to be falling down a hole with my bad eyes. On the 13th, I started recording the sequel to Welcome to Neverbury. It's called Return to Neverbury. Do I have a picture? Yes, sir, I do. Why is it open? Why did it keep opening in the wrong window? Anyway, let's get a picture up. There we go. Obviously, Return to Neverbury is the sequel to Welcome to Neverbury, which started out as I think it was a lockdown challenge. Write a small story every day or every month for a month or something. And the theme was kind of something Lovecraftian, hence the thanks, Simon, count me in as a sponsor, that'd be great. Hence the tentacles coming from the sky. So basically, Neverbury is a fictitious, creepy town in the north of England where all the weird things happen. It's funny, it's dark, it's twisted, and Chris, honestly, even if I didn't know him, he would be my favourite author. Nobody writes stories like Chris Lynch. Chris co-wrote Offworld with me, and the second one, Darren, this one has fewer chapters. I think it's got 15 chapters, but some of them are much longer. The last chapter is 40 pages, where previously it was like 2 or 3 pages per chapter. But yeah, this was another big slice of strangeness. Cards on the deck. There are a couple of stories that I found hard to read and weren't as satisfying as most of the ones in the first book, but not many. It's still a great slice. I could see it being made as a film or a TV series. Definitely, that would be fun. Oop, there we go. We're back. That is a monster chapter. Yeah. Hi, Bridgemaster P3L. I'm not aware of who you are, but nice to see you. Welcome to the thing. We're nearly at the end of the breakdown of the year, so then we can sort of freestyle a little bit. I'm drying up here. Non-alcoholic, by the way. This is not sponsored by any way, but it's called Impossibrew, so it's alcohol free. Okay, so on the 15th, my PC died. The PC I'm currently using conked out. The C drive completely corrupted, and I've done videos about it, so I won't go into the weeds, but basically the C drive corrupted. I thought I was doomed until I managed to find enough money to send it off to the local oh yeah, Louise, this is a shirt, a short sleeve shirt that I bought from Vinted. I think it's like I think it's a Florence and Fred. It's like a Tesco make. It's got flowers like autumn leaves and skeletons and stuff on, and it's basically you can get them online. But I bought this when I was very obsessed with Tim Burton after coming back from London, so I wanted that Tim Burton feel. But yeah, I was saying that. Oh goodness me, what was I talking about? Yeah, my computer. I'd paid the local guy to repair it for me, and I don't even know if it was going to be fixed. And in the meantime, I got sent a PC from one of my subscribers, who shall remain nameless, but they know who they are, and I'm super grateful. They said, I've got an old PC here if you want it. It might help. And they sent me it, and it's fantastic. And it's right here. It's not plugged in, but I do have a monitor for it right here, so just off camera, thanks to Wendy and Wendology and Darren. What's the Darren Zone? So I came up to see you guys on a very wet day, wasn't it? Super wet day, and they quite generously gave me a monitor to use with this new PC, which I'll be setting up properly in the new year. Probably to do my videos, probably to do writing, editing, that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for that. I'm forever grateful. It's something I could never afford, and if this PC of mine ever does give up the ghost, I know I'll have a computer to work on, because working is how I pay my rent. I'm working for Candy Jar and illustrating, so it is working out great, Wendy. So thank you. And in the new year, I couldn't afford to buy a new PC, and I am truly blessed, and I'm very happy about that. I do have a big speech to make at the end of this, all about the new year, but that should be fun. Hello, all 13 viewers, whoever you are, well, 12 of you and me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for whoever you are. I mean, you may be people who don't know me. You may be people who do know me. You may be people who don't like me, yet you're watching to get some ammunition. That's fine. I appreciate you watching. I can't change what people think about me. As people always say, what other people think of you is none of your business. And I am pretty much an open book. Everything I do say is the truth, but I don't say everything publicly. That's the way I live my life. It's like there are people out there who are determined to twist everything I say into something bad and use it as proof that I'm a horrible person. I'm not. I don't think I am. I know people worse than me. I know people better than me, to be honest. None of us are perfect. And hey, I'm just a guy trying to make his way. And I've had enough of drama and grief. I don't have to be friends with everyone in the world. I'd rather, if you don't like me, just stay. Let's just stay away from each other, But that's the way things are. Anyway, sorry, I got a thing. So Dave Cooper, same name as my father, no relation, fixed my PC for me. For now, so that's handy. On the 20th, I planned a final Jack Sparrow photo shoot with Hugh Lloyd, who's a really good photographer. Unfortunately, it got postponed. We turned up at the venue, ready to go, and the venue was double booked, so I couldn't do it. So we're going to try and do it in the new year. On the 22nd of November, I saw The Running Man, the Red Edgar Wright adaptation of the Stephen King novel. Wasn't brilliant, but it was okay. Again, like most of the films I saw this year, 7.5 out of 10. Didn't feel like an Edgar Wright film very much, but it wasn't a bad film. It wasn't terrible. Yeah, and you're right, Louise. Don't give the haters any of your energy. And I was thinking about this earlier on today. My favourite actress, Kate Beckinsale, she's obviously ridiculously good looking, but she's really funny, really smart. She knows about like 6 languages. She's intelligent, but she's like funny, and she's quite mad with it. She's had a horrible year. She lost her father at a very young age. Her stepdad, her mother just died, and her lifelong pet cat. She's had a really bad time. She's been very ill. She's lost a lot of weight due to illness, and everyone's on there giving her grief. There's people going, "Oh, stop taking Ozempic and put some weight on, love," and all this horrible shit. And it's heartbreaking to see her she's online in tears saying, "Please leave me alone." And I worry about her because she's had such a bad year. But the thing is, she does give her haters lots of replies. Obviously, she's got millions of followers. And most of them are saying, "We love you, you're brilliant. We really like you, keep doing what you're doing." But most of them don't get replied to, yet she'll reply to the people saying horrible shit to her. And she needs to do the opposite. because these haters love it when you address their grievances or their insults and stuff. These trolls are walking away going, haha, I said something horrible to Kate Beckinsale today and she actually replied to me. And do you know what I mean? It's like, I've said it to Kate on a few, like, not like Kate's going to listen to me, but my comments have said, I know you want to put these twats in their place, but at the end of the day, don't give them any blooming oxygen. Just let them wither on the vine. Let them die on the vine. Don't give them the. And I've got to take that on board myself. When I get criticised, just go like, look, you don't even know me, and you don't want to know me. So why am I even giving you any time? Anyway, let's move along. On the 24th, I have a picture. Where's the picture? Is the picture here? There we go. Picture is here. Hey, I clicked the right button for once. I built the tripod model for Paul Mount. Paul's got his own channel called World of Stuff, where he talks about film and TV and Doctor Who and sci-fi and stuff. And he built this. He bought this 3D printed model kit, which didn't come with a base. And he asked me if I could put it together for him. And I had great fun putting it together. 3D printed stuff is not the best thing. It's not the most fun thing to work with, but I scratch built a base out of hardboard and tea leaves and paint and EVA glue. I modded and painted the entire kit a number of times, and I made a metallic logo for the front of the thing, and he's very happy with it, and he gave me a few pounds more than I asked for it, so bless him. Yeah, it's right, Simon, and Louise, and Vicky. Keyboard warriors are the worst, and we really should not be focusing on them, right? We know who the good people are. Just be good, and there's no point in fighting them back. It's what they love. Just let them starve, So that was fun. That was tripod model kit. Where are we? We're nearly finished. 14 viewers. Hey, we're going up. If you've just joined, thank you and welcome. I'll try not to whinge. Oh, we've just gone down to 13. This is something I said. Okay. Yes, on the 25th of November, I got my sponsorship. Yeah, the model was great fun. Do I have... Yeah, I got a picture here. I may as well click on it. I got my first sponsor. I was feeling very, very low, very down. And I got a call from a friend of mine. I've known her for about 10 years, I think. And she's from up north, from Manchester way. And I met her at the Cardiff Tattoo Cons back when I was hosting as Jack Sparrow. And Emma, her name is. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Paul Mount. Yeah, he's a good bloke. Paul Mount used to work regularly for Starburst magazine as a reviewer and a writer, and he still does little bits and bobs. But now I met Paul when we were acting as on true life crime stuff. Anyway, so Emma contacts me out of the blue, phones me up. I love you, all right? And she sounds like Scary Spice, but she's cute as a button. I love her. And she said, "What's your bank details?" I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "Oh, I don't want to use the coffee website." I'm like, "Okay, fair enough." So I gave her my bank details, and next thing I know, she popped in a surprisingly big sum of money. I'm not talking thousands. I'm not talking hundreds and hundreds of pounds. But it was more than a £6 coffee, or a £5 coffee. And I said, "Are you sure about this?" And she goes, "Yeah, why not? It's a legitimate business expense for marketing." Basically, when I met Emma, she was working for a company called Black Powder, which is BLK Powder here. But she's taken over that company. And she's also set up Black Clinical. And what they do, I'm sorry if I'm preaching to the converted here, but I should mention them as they've been sponsoring my videos. And I need to mention them more. Black powder is literally what it sounds like. It's a black and purple powder, which you get in sachets. And for tattooists, if you put some of this powder in your wastewater cup, it will absorb. It will absorb all the water into a solid lump, which then you can dispose of hygienically and safely. It's an amazing absorbent material. It's Laura. Hi, Laura. Why aren't you? You're a party girl. Why aren't you partying? Maybe you've been partying and you've just come back. I don't know. Nice to see you. Um, so Black Clinical is the company that Emma set up, underneath Black Powder, where basically she sends teams all around the tattoo shows all around the country and has done for 10 years. And they turn up with gloves and plastic sharps boxes and so they can dispose of needles, waste inks, ink pots, cling film, anything that the tattooists use to keep their work area hygienic. They will dispose of it cleanly, quickly, and safely, and they do an amazing job. And Emma's just the funnest bird. She's a Manc. She's gorgeous. She loves Star Wars in a big way. You partied out, you Laura. I don't think I've got the energy to party anymore. I'm getting old. But yeah, Emma, she loves her Star Wars. She's got a massive kink for stormtroopers. She drinks pints, as you can imagine, a girl from Manchester. And she's just the best. And she just said, I'm going to keep sponsoring you and see how it goes. So, it came in at what a revolting development. Simon, you might remember this. Back in the day on the program Record Breakers with Roy Castle, they said, what was the most absorbent thing in the world? And everyone was thinking, it's a sponge or something. And no, it's basically this powder. It was developed in the States. It was called Super Soaker. No, Super Slurper. And basically they had a pint glass of water and they poured in like 2 tablespoons of Super Slurper, white powder, and it absorbed all the water in about 10 seconds. You could turn the cup upside down and it wouldn't come out. It's ridiculous, and that's what black powder is made of. You can party on. I bet you're a dark horse. Honestly, I've been doing my breakdown of the year, and earlier on, I think back, was it March or April or something, me and my mate went to Cardiff for a night, and we spent most of the night just sitting down, just listening to the music. We didn't really dance. We were joined by 4 really cute girls from Bristol who were in their 20s, and it wasn't a case of, might get lucky here. They weren't interested in us. We weren't interested in them because they were too young. But they were really cute, and they were really nice, and they just were happy to sit and talk with us. It was a nice night. But that's an old man's night. We were just sitting there talking, Anyway, stop clicking the wrong flipping. Why am I clicking the wrong? That's one. There we go. We're back. Hello. We're coming up to 12, man. We're doing this good. This video, by the way, if you just joined, is not going to go too far past 12 o'clock. I do have a few things to talk about after I finish my breakdown of 2025. I have a nice speech to do, and I've got some end credits. But generally, it'll be about 10 past, quarter past 12, kind of thing. We're on 15 viewers again. Wow, we're back to full strength, everybody. Congratulations, and thank you for sticking with me. Anyway, so that's the story behind my channel sponsors, and I'm still willing to get sponsors. If someone wants to sponsor, say, one video, all you got to do is contact me and say, can you plug my company, product, channel, anything, whatever. Chuck me a couple of quid, and I'll do a video that mentions your product, your sponsorship, etc. Because I'm not too close to monetization yet. But if anything I can do to keep the electric paid and the lights on, I'll do it. Where we're on the 30th then. On the 30th, my subscriber, who shall remain anonymous, sent me the PC and the set of 5 Babylon 5 DVDs, the full set of Babylon 5 DVDs in perfect nick, six discs in each box, and I'm watching them and reviewing them as you've seen every other week on my channel. So Super fun that is. Always wanted to watch all of Babylon 5, and now I can. So that was a big high point. That, getting that PC and the help and everything, along with quite a few people on my subscribers list, went to the coffee site, chucked me £3, £4, £5, whatever, really helped me out of a hole. And Emma's sponsorship saved me basically saved Christmas for me, because I don't buy stuff for myself. I buy stuff for my kids and my granddaughter. And the reason I just glitched, I'll talk about it later. I will. Yeah, that helped me out of a big hole, and it gave me the motivation to keep going with the YouTube channel, because we might get to 1,000 subscribers next year. That would be so good if I could. Okay, we're in December now. So, December the 1st, went up to see the Darren Zone and Wendology in their lovely home. I still haven't got any of those wall things that you sent me, the wall hangings with books and cool forests and stuff on. I will get something like that. I do need a background for my channel as well. I went up to see Darren and Wendy for the monitor that they donated to me, so I'm very happy about that. And I got home and it worked, and it didn't get waterlogged on the way home, so that was cool. On the 4th, I went to Newport, and they found a second cataract in the other eye, so I've got a cataract in each eye, plus glaucoma. Wow. So I had to sign paperwork for an operation which is happening in January, and we'll talk about that in a bit. On the 6th, I did my Christmas shopping, thank goodness. On the 13th, the books arrived, the Imperfect Specimen books. I can't see what I'm doing because my Word document's in the way. Yeah, David Jandrell's book, Imperfect Specimen, arrived from the printers. Very happy about that. That was very cool. And on the 14th, we hit 600 subscribers. Actually 601 on the 14th of December. So from 292 subscribers, it's nearly 400 subscribers, man. That is unbelievable. I never thought I'd get that many subscribers. I think I had about 500 subscribers when I had a lot of Jack Sparrow content on my older channel, but that's kind of gone now. Most of them left when I said I was not doing Jack Sparrow anymore. I need some more. I tell you what we're going to do. I'll get through December. I have a wee break. I do have a short video to show you for the wee break, which will be fun. And and then we'll start winding up. 15 minutes to go. Let's crack on. 20th of December, I hit the ripe old age of 56. Wow. I'm already feeling like I'm 57 for some reason. It's 56 I am this year. I'm fairly sure of it. Scary. I'm way older than both my parents were when I was growing up, Oh no, I mean, my mum died at 70, my dad died about 80, but at the end of the day, I remember my parents as being 40, and 40 seems young now to have kids, Anyway, on the 23rd of December, I started rewatching Babylon 5 and filming my reactions and summarizing them. Not so much reviews, not blow by blow or breakdowns or reactions, more a case of summarizing 4 episodes at a time. So that's been good fun. 25th was a very quiet Christmas day. I got up early, had some food. Food was a cold tin of soup with a spoon, big soup, chunky. And then I opened some presents and I went back to bed for about 5 hours because my sleep pattern is all over the place. But hey, it's Christmas and it was quiet. You made it to 60. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to 60. I can't wait to get that bus pass. I just want to go everywhere for free. I'm going to be milking it. And no one's going to believe me. They're going to be like, you're not old enough. 27, I did my top 10 sci-fi videos, which is only just gone up line. On the 28th, I noticed I've changed my YouTube viewing habits. YouTube sent me a reminder of the kind of things that I've been watching all year. And for the first half of the year, I was watching a lot of basically hate mongers, people who review stuff, films and TV, but just to hate on it. We all know them. There's quite a few of them. And I realized I was watching too many of them, and it was bringing me down a little bit. And I think I was kind of wondering, how do they get so many subscribers? And it's just because they're farming, controversy or whatever, stoking the fires. And I thought, I don't want to do that. So I started watching more positive stuff, such as Steve Wallace, the stealth camping guy. Camping with Steve is the name of his channel. Greg Johnson Making, who's like a modeler maker and a scratch builder. The Bill Making Stuff and his brother Dan Does. They do scratch building and more sort of stuff. Very funny guys and good stuff. And the latest one, I subscribed to Terry in order to stay down with the kids. I know, right? I refuse to grow up as much as possible. I've started watching a channel thanks to a clip I saw of Kate McKinnon, the comedian from the Ghostbusters film and Saturday Night Live. She's talking about this channel called Drain Cleaning Australia. And basically it's run by a guy called Bruce, who is the Steve Irwin of drain cleaners. It's got to be seen to be believed. You never see his face, he's just his tools and stuff, and he's poking things and he's jet washing really filthy, disgusting drains and blocked up sewers and toilets and plunging things, and he loves his job. He's like, oh crikey mate, this is the dream, I'm living the dream, this is amazing, you ripper. What would you rather be doing, going on holiday, sitting in your spinny chair in your office, when you could watch me cleaning this lumps of congealed fat out of a drain? This is amazing, guys. He's brilliant. It's honestly, you binge watch it. It's so much fun. So yeah, I'm doing that. I think I'm gravitating away from the hate YouTubers, because it's too easy to talk about stuff you hate. I do mention things I don't like, but having been a filmmaker and a writer and stuff. Sorry, I'm just opening another tinny here, mate. Having been a writer and stuff, I know how hard it is, and it's hard to get things right, and things do go wrong, and you can't control most of them. And for someone to just say you're incompetent, as many people have said to me about Offworld and other things, sometimes it's not always beyond your control, and none of us are perfect. We're not all Spielberg. Yeah, this is a detox. It's all alcohol free. It's also pale ale, and I'm not a major fan of craft beers. I'm more of a John Smith's bitter person. You are what you drink, and I'm a bitter man. Now that was rehearsed. Okay, what were we saying? 29th of December, back to work. It was a Monday, so I've started work illustrating a book on palmistry, reading the lifeline and the headline and all these things. So Candy Jar are publishing their first book on palmistry. I've got a children's book to do, which is all about the psyche and depression and things like that, which is quite a healthy, wholesome book. And now we can talk about my eyes. Right, so that was the breakdown for 2025. Thanks for sticking with me. We're very close to it. You're right, Simon. We've been saying this about the haters, haven't we? Just ignore them, let them die on the vine, starve them of attention and energy. 2026, obviously, Candy Jar is an ongoing thing. Candy Jar have provided me with most of my income through the last 15 years. Candy Jar was formed, whether you know or not, Candy Jar was formed to publish my first book, Kangazang, 15 years ago. And after that, they were like, let's do something else and something else. And Candy Jar have turned into an award-winning small press. They're not huge. They're not massively turnovers, and they can't afford to pay me a living wage kind of thing, because they're spread very thinly and they don't make that many sales. They're not Penguin Books, but they have been a steady source of work for me for 15 years. And without them, I would be on the streets. I shit you not. I don't know where I'd be working otherwise. So I'm very, very grateful to those guys. Again, any time before March, I would like to try and do the stealth camping thing that I was talking about earlier. But if I'm doing it for the Royal British Veterans Enterprise, I've got to sign up and raise at least £100. But there are other charities such as T Haven Hospice, which I've done in the past in costume as Star Wars stuff. They do the kids' hospice in Barry Island. There's also a women's refuge charity that someone told me about. So I've got to pick a charity basically and raise some money and then do my stealth camping. Also in March is the Big Bot Bash. I mentioned earlier a YouTube channel called Bill Making Stuff, and he creates robots and stuff out of bits of junk, and any kinds of plastic junk or woods and metal and whatever, and just chops them all together, glues them, paints them. Really cool stuff, really funny. And he does a thing every March called the Big Bot Bash. He gives you a sheet of styles and things to use, whatever, and says, right, pick stuff from here, build a robot and send me a photo of it. So I really want to do that. That'd be quite fun. And that happens in March. But as I say, in January, it looks like I'm getting my eye operations. So the plan is to put metal stents, which are tubes, into both eyes. I've got high pressure on my eyes, which is causing glaucoma. I've been on eye drops for the last, goodness me, over 10 years. To try and lower the pressure, but it's not working as well as they thought it would. So I'm having metal stents in the eyes, and also a cataract taken out of this eye. So I'm going to be minus one eye for a few weeks, and then at some point they're going to take the cataract out of this eye. So my eyesight isn't going to be it's not like laser surgery where I'll be like back to 20/20 vision, but it's more a case of minimizing further damage. They said my prescription will change, but whereas this eye is constantly out of focus, it's fine when I got two eyes open. I don't really notice it, but I close one eye, it's like, whoa, everything's out of focus. So it will improve, but I'm not looking forward to it. Local anesthetic, man, stuff in the eyes. It's going to happen, and that will impact my work and everything else I want to do, like stealth camping. Apparently it's not painful. People have said it's not, because they numb the heck out your eyes. But then, the anesthetic's not going to last forever, and you're going to wake up with completely bloodshot eyes and bits of, patches and, no. Operate on any other part of me rather than my eyes. But it's got to be done. It's got to be done. So what I really want to do, they do, Louise, they do say it is quick and surprisingly not painful. There you go. You've had worse dental work. I hate dental work. I've had some very painful dental work this year. So my big plan for 2026, the first half, is to try and get Off-World Survivors written and filmed. And that means building the set, raising some money to pay the cameramen and the actors. I'm not paying myself for it, obviously. I just want to pay for the set and pay the actors and the cameraman and the sound guy. I really want to do a good job of Off-World Survivors. It's going to be like 15 minutes tops. But I want it to look, because it's a kind of a sequel set 10 years after, and I want it to be a bit more satisfying than the film was, and it has got a bit more closure in it. So it's something I feel I really want to do. People have said, you're not going to do it. I'm like, I will, just watch me. And also now the road to 1,000 subscribers, and with that comes possibly monetization. I'm really keen to find out what happens. I wish Paul Mount was here and ask him, how much do you get every month once you hit 1,000 subscribers? We don't know. Barry Collector Con, Card and Collector Con is. Can I do vids? I mean, I'll have one eye covered up in patch once I've had the cataract done, for a couple of weeks, I imagine, and then when I've got both eyesight back, they'll do the other eye. So they'll do one eye at a time, not both. But I don't think I might end up putting my Ray-Bans on because it might not be good to look at. Okay, we're 5 minutes to 12, everybody. There's 13 of us, well, 12 plus me watching. That's amazing. You don't need to recreate an alien planet document science in a harsh environment. Yeah, and every day is a harsh environment, isn't it? Let's face it. Um, we did all right with the last film anyway. I've got this horrible long hair at the moment, and because I want to keep my character to have long hair because he hasn't really had a hairdresser. I want him to look a bit Tom Hanks in Castaway, you know. So also, as I mentioned earlier, BarryCon in May means I'll get to interview Peter Davison, Colin Baker, the two Hollies from Red Dwarf, um, Treeguard from Nightmare, and Paul McGann. I think I said Paul McGann. So basically, celebs. That should be good fun, and I can't wait to meet Peter Davison. That should be good. Next year, I want to write. I want to get the Weirdo book done. I want to get um, Aliens Up There, which is the sequel to Monsters Next Door. I want to do Fantastic. I don't know how or what I'm going to do with that. And also, I think I got a picture here. Is it going to open? I did start this at the start of the year, and I didn't finish it. I'm about a third of the way in, and it's a novel called Smash, and it's about the pop industry. It's about a five-piece boy band. It's not based on my band, but I'm able to write it because of my experiences in the pop industry, and I think I've got a good story. So that Smash, and obviously you look at the red bit, it's from Smash Hits, which doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, it's a good story. I'll see if I can finish that at some point. Maybe I'll get around to doing some writing after Offworld, obviously. So right, it's 3 minutes to. Yes, thanks for watching, Vicky. You've been an absolute star. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm gonna paste this speech in my Facebook and Instagram anyway, but I'm gonna read this speech now because I've been given some thought about how to go ahead into the year, and I'm gonna read it off the Word document because, you know. Anyway, right, here we go. So, as we step into this new year, I'm not thinking about grand resolutions or fixing the world overnight. Instead, I'm hopeful about something much simpler and much more powerful. In 2026, I want us to focus on the small, personal, and local things that are actually within our control. The everyday choices, habits, and moments that we know bring us happiness in small doses. The good conversation, a short catch-up, a shared meal, a walk outside, a project we care about, time with people who make us feel seen. These things may seem modest, but they add up. They always have added up. There will always be huge issues beyond our reach. Global problems, political stuff, political noise, forces we can't influence, no matter how much we worry about them. They'll roll on regardless of how much we worry. Paying a constant attention to those things can leave us feeling anxious and powerless. So this year, 2026, I want us all to give ourselves permission to loosen our grip on what we can't control and put our energy where it actually makes a difference in our own lives, our own communities, and the people right in front of us. If we do that, if we tend to what's close, what's familiar and meaningful, we create stability and joy where it matters most. And that's not naive or small-minded, it's wise, it's wisdom. So let's move into this year with a little more trust. Ooh, I jumped then at a massive firework bang. Things are going to be all right. Maybe not perfect, but all right. Good times will continue and happier times are on the way. There's more warmth ahead, more laughter, more ordinary days that quietly turn out to be the good ones. Take comfort in that. Rest in that. We'll be okay. And with that, it's literally coming up to 12 o'clock. What does my clock say? I can't get the thing up. It's 23:59. 23:59. The fireworks are kicking off like very loud bangs outside. Either that or they've declared war. It is 23:59. Where's the world clock? And We've got 10 seconds. Ready? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, everybody. There's 10 viewers, or 9 and me. Thank you to everyone. Vicky, Louise, Wendy, Simon, Andy, Darren, Nick, Jamie, wherever he is. Anyone else who tuned in, anyone else who's watching who may not be signed in, thank you all for staying with me for the last 2 hours. We've got through basically everything I wanted to do, maybe some movie reviews, which is not a problem. Everyone have a good time. Stay in touch. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. We'll see what happens. Also, yes, Junior Disprol there, Matt. Happy New Year, everyone. It's now 2026. I'm not going to take a break now, so because what I'm going to do is play my end credits video, which I think you might like. I've named most of you on there. Apologies for the people I haven't named. Let's quickly look at the video list. Here we go. Right. Let's see if we can get this video on the go. Not that one. That one. Happy New Year, everyone.
And with that, the 2025 season comes to an end.
Sunshine.
That's it from me, everyone. Thanks for watching. Go and get some sleep or do whatever you want to do, and I'll see you very soon. Take care now. Bye bye then.